What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy Dtlf coming to you guys live with my draft by draft pick analysis, man, one by one. So far, we got a couple of shakeups, man. We're also going to be talking about trade rumors, all that good stuff. So kick it with me for the next hour or so. Hopefully, we can get into the Lakers draft. And also, I will be doing a video way after the draft just to recap everything the Lakers have done. But yes, our Lakers do have a draft pick. All right, we got the number 35th overall pick in this year's draft. We traded for it to the Orlando Magic, and so I want to see who slips down. But yeah, listen, this draft is already a surprise. Paolo Banchero went number one to the Orlando Magic. That shit was just a shocker to me. Like, that was a super shocker. I couldn't believe it. And also Keegan Murray going number 4 to Sacramento Kings. That's a good pick for them. But now the Pistons, man, the Pistons get to come away with the steal in Jaden Ivey. So overall, like, I'm excited. This is a good draft. This is a good draft, man. It's been good so far. Jaden Ivey. What a great pick. Now they get to pair him up in the backcourt with oh boy, Cade Cunningham. So that is a great pick for them, man. Jaden Ivey actually, I think, is one of the, out of the top 3 players that were selected, Paolo Banchero, Chet, and all of them, I actually like Jaden Ivey as I think he could have been in the top 3 for sure. So very, very excited for this draft. There's always surprises, man, but this one started off with a banger. Again, if y'all just tuning in, if y'all watching this from work or wherever, Paolo Banchero was the number 1 overall pick, man. So, that was the biggest surprise in the draft so far, followed by Jabari Smith falling all the way down to the Houston Rockets at number 3. And Jaden Ivey slipping in the draft. I thought he was going to be top 4 for sure. And, I guess, the Rockets wanted some size. They wanted a wing instead. What's up, y'all? Yo, the Kyrie Irving rumors are going off the rails now. Going off the rails. Like, it could happen, guys. If you guys just tuning in, Shams Chinara from The Athletic just reporting that Kyrie will now proceed to look for a new team. He's going to opt in and look for a trade. So I guess they couldn't come to, an agreement, and that's huge. That is huge for us, man. That is huge. Benedict Mathurin at number 6 to the Indiana Pacers. Solid pick. Kyrie's gone. Dan, Laker Nation soon. I hope so. Now, he does have a couple of names on his list, but I do think, reports were that, hey, Kyrie and LeBron have spoken behind the scenes. I told you guys he was in New York. I thought that was interesting. Working out with Kevin Love. I thought that was very interesting. LeBron is a mastermind when it comes to recruiting. So it very well could happen, man. Well, how y'all feeling today, man? I'm excited. Draft day. I wasn't going to come on this early, right? I had my family over and all that, but I couldn't. I had to set up the room and do it from over here. Now, my TV here is a little delayed because it's not, hooked up to the cable like the living room one. I'm doing it through the Xbox, so it's a little delayed, but I get all the picks on time through my Twitter timeline and through NBA.com. So follow along, guys. It's a good draft so far, AJ Griffin's still on the board. Johnny Davis, Jalen Duren. There's a lot of talent left. Now, who's going to slip down to the Lakers? Who do you guys want to see the Lakers pick with that 35th overall pick, man? There's definitely been some names out there, that we've been talking about. But who do you guys like? Keon Ellis is definitely a favorite. I didn't think we'd get as high of a draft pick as the 35th. Lakers make a killing and a living out of those. No, most notably, obviously, Jordan Clarkson, TAC with the second-round picks. Thomas Bryant, Ivica Zubac. Like, we've made a killing out of the draft. So Johnny Juzang, I think Johnny Juzang and Shaq's son, I like them both, but I think those guys could potentially sign on as undrafted free agents. So Keon Ellis is my favorite personally. Obviously, another one that's been working out with the Lakers, Jabari Walker, would be dope. Let's see who slips down, though. Maybe somebody of more worth will slide to Lakers. These drafts are unpredictable. It's never what the mock drafts say it is. Like, the Paolo Banchero story, man, is interesting because for most of the week, we've been hearing that it was going to be one of the other 2 guys, either Chet, or the guy from Auburn. What's his name? Jabari Smith. And it ends up being Paolo, who was projected to go number 3 to the Houston Rockets. So that's why you got to love the draft. You got to tune in. Keon Ellis or Johnny. Kofi from Illinois, Shaq's son. He said, we're good at drafting, so I have faith it will be something good. That's true, Mitchell. That's true. We don't want to be close-minded. Whatever the Lakers do, I'm sure You know, it'll end up being a rotational player at some point if it doesn't get traded in a package. The fact that we got an early second rounder is actually impressive. It is. Rob Pelinka always doing his due diligence. So shout out to Rob for that one for sure. Is Chet similar to Dirk? Um, you know what? Nah, Dirk was a once in a lifetime. Dirk is a once in a lifetime type player. So it's not fair to compare him to that. But Chet is definitely a good shot blocker. If he adds in a little bit more muscle, he'd be solid. He can space the floor. So think of like maybe a rich man's Porzingis if he hits his peak, right? If he reaches his potential. But Chet is solid, man. He's definitely solid. Gonzaga always breeding good talent. So yeah, Chet is solid. Yeah, that was a good pick by the Pacers as well, for sure. That was a good pick by the Pacers. Let's see who slides to the. By the way, it was rumored that the Portland Trail Blazers were going to trade this pick, right, for OG Anunoby. I wonder if that happens. He said, "Let's put a package together, Dan, and take the Lakers back to the promised land." Yes, sir. You already know what's up. Hey, if we get Kyrie, it's a wrap. Now, rumor has it he's going to opt in and request a trade, right? So clearly they couldn't agree to some sort of extension. Now, what does this do to KD? I don't know. It could definitely shift the landscape of NBA title favorites. But it is also rumored that potentially he might stay if they build the right team around him. So, that's always an option as well. But I would love it if we get Kyrie. You guys know I've been a big fan of his, so I look forward to it. Let's see what happens. Can we get Kyrie tonight? Most likely, bro, it's gonna have to wait until Russell Westbrook opts in, right? Because he's the contract we have to trade if it ends up being a trade. The only way we can get Kyrie without that happening is if he opts out and he signs for the mid-level exception. That's the only way. What are my thoughts on Sharif O'Neal? Very raw prospect. Definitely has the gifts. Very athletic. Talented. He didn't have a great opportunity in college. Obviously, the heart surgery and all that factored into that. But I would love to see him with one of the G League squads as maybe even a two-way player if he impresses in Summer League. Now, stay tuned. Make sure y'all hit that post notification because I will be covering Summer League and all that, man. Year round, baby. Year round. He said, I just hope that's not Adam Morrison. Who are we talking about? Chet? Nah, Chet is solid, man. Chet is breaking records for shot blocks and all that, man. He was great in Gonzaga. This summer might be nuts, bro. They're getting off to a crazy start. And remember, I told you guys anything's possible. Don't discount nothing. People were saying it was all smoke to get leverage on the contract and all that. Nah, Kyrie's different, man. Kyrie's different. He says, so can we trade Westbrook without him opting in? No, he has to opt in first. If he opts out, then we have more cap space to sign Kyrie for a little bit more money, right? But if he's not going to opt out. Obviously, he wants that 47 mil just like John Wall. I don't know what he's holding on to. Maybe he's trying to avoid being traded prematurely to a place he doesn't want to go to. But the sooner he gets he opts in, the sooner we can get this thing rolling. He said, Dan, are you serious? You want Kyrie? I don't want that dude, bro. Come on. Of course I'm serious, man. Y'all know I'm a Kyrie fan. He's a champion. Listen, the people that panic about Kyrie Irving, they watch a lot of ESPN, most of them. Some of them, okay, I get your concerns. But I do feel like this is going to be one of Kyrie's final opportunities to redeem himself and earn a final big contract in his career. He's only 31, and he's going to age gracefully as far as his game goes. The rest is all off the court stuff, man. But LA somewhere he's wanting to go for a while. I think Kyrie will be just fine. Listen, I told this to my friends, and I'll say this to you guys as well. I will take 50% of Kyrie over 100% of Russell Westbrook. All right, that's a huge upgrade. We're talking about somebody who can floor space, amazing ball handling and playmaking abilities. And yeah, the off-the-court stuff, we'll worry about that later. For now, you get rid of Russell Westbrook and you get a superstar like Kyrie Irving, that's a win-win in my book. That's a risk you got to be willing to take, especially if you want to compete, right? Opportunities like these don't come every day. We are lucky that it didn't work out in Brooklyn because honestly, had it worked out, Lakers would be looking to sign players on a cheap veteran minimum deals. And yeah, that could work out as well. But I'll take Kyrie right now. Right now. He said, let's get Zubac and Terrence Mann for Westbrook. Let's see what happens with Russell Westbrook. Listen, first I want to see what's going to happen with Kyrie. Now, it seems like, based on the recent reports, he's done with Brooklyn. So that's huge. You know, that is huge, man. But we'll see. We'll see, man. Obviously, he has plenty of names on his list. And there's a lot of false reports out there being reported, so don't listen to everything. If it's not by Woj or Shams, I wouldn't panic, right? But look, bottom line is going to be interesting. Like, this stuff is getting good, man. This is what I'm built for, man. This is what I'm built for. The NBA draft, free agency. This is what NBA fans love. So, yeah. By the way, Jaden Ivey, one of my favorite players out of college, man. The Detroit Pistons got a real one. They got lucky. He slipped down to number 5. They can pair him up in the backcourt with Cade Cunningham. That's going to be a good team, man. A real good team in the future. They still got to develop, but going to be a good team. Is a Kyrie for the mid-level exception? That's also an option, Jackie. I didn't think that would be an option, but Woj and Shams both reporting that could actually be a possibility. So, wow. Like, yeah, that's insane, right? Like, that's crazy. I do find it funny that the Rockets traded away Christian Wood thinking they would, get Paolo Banchero, but they got a pretty good player, so they shouldn't complain. He said, Dan, all I want for my birthday next month, July, I want Kyrie. Please make it happen. Let's get it. Let's get it for Riley Chris's birthday. Happy early birthday, bro. Happy early birthday, man. But stuff is moving along nicely here, man. A lot of rumors and stuff. What's next? I just keep updating my timeline. The Knicks still want Jaden Ivey, so are they pursuing him via trade? To be determined. To be determined, man. Let's see what happens here. He said Detroit got a stud, but what are they going to do with Sadiq Bey? Run him at the small forward, man. Small ball season. Here it is. The Portland Trailblazers select Shaedon Sharpe from London, Ontario. Shaedon Sharpe. Sound like Shannon Sharpe. Sound like for a second there, I thought he said Shannon Sharpe. I got confused. My boy said, just think of Kyrie's issues like our test issues. He got that dog in him. Oh, listen, Kyrie Irving is just misunderstood, man. He's been a champion before, so we know he can be focused, and we know he can hit big shots and do big things. So I'm not concerned about that. I'll be honest with you, man. ESPN's narrative about Kyrie and being an anti-vaxxer and flat earther has kind of ruined his reputation. So I'm really rooting for him to redeem himself as a Laker. I think that would be such a cool story if he wins a championship with us, and then everybody could just lay off the weed, man, when it comes to hating on this man's talent, because he's got it. He's got it for sure. But of course, people don't like him. Like, there's a whole article about how it would be stupid if we traded for him. So that tells you everything you need to know. And, some people, they're gonna go with that narrative. But I like to have I like to be a free thinker and just think for myself, personally. He said, do you think Lee will be drafted? Lee who, bro? Give me first and last names. Meta provided toughness and personality. Don't know really about Kyrie. Kyrie would provide playmaking, scoring ability, and just a real superstar who can space the floor and would really help with the 4-out, 1-in offense for sure. Or surely. So, Dan, I think Ayton is going to Detroit. That could happen. Man. There's been a lot of rumors that they don't want to give him. They don't think he's a max contract, which really stings for them, right? For the Phoenix Suns, because they passed on Luka Doncic, who's a superstar already this early in his career, and they drafted Ayton, who they might not even retain. So let's see if they get pennies to the dollar. Oh, Hyun Jung Lee, he might go undrafted, man. There's a lot of prospects that might go undrafted, but remember, the Lakers are going to be a hotbed and a landing destination for these free agents. So let's just keep a close eye on some of these guys. People have been asking about a lot of these free agents. I really hope Johnny Juzang comes to the Lakers training camp, or should I say to the Summer League roster, signs with us after the draft is over, and hopefully he doesn't get drafted. Who do you want us to pick at 35? Man, there's several players. I had a whole video on this, man, but we really need a 3-and-D wing for sure, man. And one of my favorite players is Keon Ellis. Now, I didn't think we'd get the 35th pick. We were projected trade up to like in the mid 40s. So I had other guys, obviously, in my video. If you go back and look at my draft video now, but yeah, we're drafting at 35, Chapito. We got the 35th pick from the Orlando Magic. What if Ayton went to the Hawks? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. They definitely have assets to give up, for sure. You said Orlando drafted a big man. Looks like Mo Bamba might be on his way out. Maybe. Maybe. What about bigs? There's a couple of notable bigs, but most of the bigs in this draft, like the floor spacers, are going to go early in the first round. All right. As far as the ones that can do dirty work, they might slip out of the draft because everybody's looking for modern bigs who can space the floor, right? So, and they could also play defense. So they want bigs who can do both things. So yeah, some of these guys are going to slip, and we'll see what happens when they do slip. Wow, I'm impressed. Hey, if the Knicks are still trying to trade for Jaden Ivey. All right, reported by Jake Fisher. I wonder if the Pistons are going to budge. Let's see what happens there, man. It's getting interesting now. It's getting really interesting. This draft stuff. Now, here's a question for Laker Nation. This is what I want to ask y'all. Do y'all really think that the Lakers are keeping this 35th overall pick? Because I do. We got to get younger. We need 3-and-D wings. Or do you guys think we're posturing up and maybe using it as a trade asset to unload Russell Westbrook, or maybe even land somebody like Kyrie? Who knows, right? But what do you guys think? Do you guys think we're going to keep the pick? Because I'd be bummed out. I watch the draft and everything. I get excited, and then we just end up trading it. But I'm open-minded. He said, could we trade back from 35th to get 2 late second rounders? That'll be interesting if the Lakers do something like that. It's happened before, but I'm not sure. If a team really likes a player and they want to move up, they might do that, especially if they have multiple second-round picks, which they don't plan on using. So that could happen, but I haven't really looked into that. I think we should take one guy, and then everybody else should come from undrafted free agents list. There's going to be plenty of undrafted players. I think Johnny Juzang has a good chance of going undrafted. I'm crossing my fingers that if we don't draft him, he goes undrafted and he joins us. We need a shooter like him too. Keep the pick. Hopefully. Dyson Daniels is a player we lost right in the trade for Anthony Davis, right? So he was part of the package. So yeah, he's a G League guy. Pro comparison is Marcus Smart. So if he ends up, living up to the hype, then that trade will hurt a little bit more because that's another young, talented prospect that the Lakers gave up. So this guy could have been a Laker, technically, right? I guess they didn't. I guess the Knicks ended up giving up. Yeah. Now Jaden Ivey's a perfect backcourt mate for Cunningham. He said, damn, my birthday July 26th. I feel the Lakers get Kyrie on my birthday. Hopefully, bro. That'll be everybody's birthday if we get Kyrie. Trust me. I'll be celebrating live on the stream with y'all for sure. I have a feeling we might trade our pick because people have been wanting our first-round pick. Well, this pick is a second-round pick, but it's close to a first-rounder, right? And sometimes first-round talent does slip. Now, as far as trading our pick, do you mean the 2027 pick or the 2029? We could trade either or both. I'm hyped, Dan. Me too, bro. Trust me, man. Trust me. This is turning out to be a good draft so far. Very interesting. Again, if those of you that aren't watching the draft, Paolo Banchero was drafted number 1 overall, man, over Chet. And he was projected to go number 3. So, he was drafted number 1 overall over Chet and Jabari Smith. So that's very interesting. Dan, is Dwight Howard staying with the Lakers this season? Nobody knows. As of right now, nobody knows, bro. If the Lakers have better options like Mo Bamba, they're probably going to take it and upgrade. But if not, he's always a good option to bring off the bench. He said, Dtlf, we have nothing the Nets want for Kyrie. You are terribly mistaken, Jordan Smith. You have to understand that with all the controversy around Kyrie's name, he doesn't have a high trade value right now. So the Nets could end up with 1 or 2 first-round picks, and that'll be more than enough. Trust me on that. Now, if they want players and pieces to go along with that, we could involve another team, and it could end up being a 3-way deal. There's been rumors about potentially the Thunder being interested in Russell Westbrook, also the Charlotte Hornets, also the Indiana Pacers. There's been plenty of teams that have been linked to Russell Westbrook. So if the Lakers really get creative, where there's a will, there's a way. It could happen in a 3-way trade, unless Brooklyn wants Russ, but I doubt that. I really doubt that. He said, "You know what you know what I mean, bro. Giddy up, giddy up." Dan, tune in late. Do we have a pick? Yes, we do have a pick, Tony. Today we traded for Orlando Magic 2nd-round pick, 35th overall. We we spent some money, over $2 million, and plus a future 2nd-round pick. So yeah, we do have a pick. It's in the 35th. So I don't know who we're gonna take, but a 3-and-D wing would be exactly what the doctors ordered. My concern is, what if the Nets like the Clippers package better? I would be devastated if I see one of my favorite players all time in Kyrie Irving go to the stinking Flippers. Man, I would be devastated. Ugh, that's the last thing I need to see. I used to like Kawhi Leonard before he went to the Clippers. Now I don't like him. I don't want to have to do the same thing to Kyrie. Anybody but the Clippers, to be honest with you. But having him on the Lakers would be a dream come true. I mean, this guy's box office, man. No matter all the criticism or whatever, this guy's a bucket. He averaged 29 points during his stint with the Brooklyn Nets. And he's just a killer. And he's only 31 with a perfect game that's going to age gracefully in the NBA. Like, he's still got 2 to 3 good dominant years at least. And he's going to play well into his 36 and 37s. Just like Chris Paul. Watch. That's what I've been thinking, Dan. There's a possibility that the Flippers get Kyrie. Don't even listen. Let's not even speak such vile things into existence, man. The last thing we want to see is Kyrie Irving as a Clipper. I think I just threw up in my mouth just thinking about that shit, man. No, please no. Is AD for KD realistic? It could be. Honestly, I could see a scenario where something like that happens. If Brooklyn wants a future piece to build to move forward with, there's few teams in the league that can offer somebody as good as Anthony Davis, right? Now, obviously, you got to watch out for a team like Boston. They could end up splitting with either Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Plus, they got Marcus Smart plus draft picks, so they could be a serious threat. But if the Lakers really want to take that risk and get another superstar like Kevin Durant, that would be huge. I'm not a big Kevin Durant fan personally. Obviously, his offensive game is impeccable. He's elite, and he would definitely take a lot of scoring pressure off of LeBron James. But I think I want to see a more balanced team. That's why I prefer to stay with Anthony Davis. But I could see why a lot of people want KD. Obviously, he's a mega star, and he seems to be ready and available for the most part in his career. So, a lot of people would take that, but I prefer KD. I prefer AD, man, because he's younger, and I think he has a lot of trade value. I really do. KD's getting up there in years, so God forbid he gets injured or anything crazy happens. Hey, Dan, do you think Kyrie can commit to winning in LA? I can see LA fans resenting him like Westbrook if he does commit to winning here in LA. Look, man, if he opts into the final year in his deal, obviously we're going to have his bird rights. So he's going to need a ball out this year. He's on a contract year, and he already lost hella money. So unless he wants to lose more money, I doubt he acts up. But there's always that possibility, of course. I don't think it's going to be as bad as Westbrook, because Kyrie actually puts up numbers when he's on the court. Westbrook had a bad attitude off the court, disrespected our fan base, and belittled the coaches, and played like crap. So it was like we usually don't boo players. The last time we booed a player was Kwame Brown. It has to be like atrociously bad. So Russell Westbrook had a historically horrible season here for the Lakers. Forget about the stats. That's why we turned on him. But Kyrie is actually a weapon. Anytime he's on the court, he's the real deal, man. I don't think it'll be like that at all. But who knows? Who knows? I've been wrong before. I was wrong about Westbrook. I thought he'd check his ego at the door, and I was wrong about him. So there is always a chance that could happen again. But when you have a gifted talent like LeBron James and Anthony Davis on your team, you're trying to swing for the fences and maximize the championship window and opportunity. Hey, Mark, it's a pleasure, bro. Thanks, man. Always, bro. Always. Always. Yes, sir. Representing. Um, Say less. He said Kyrie makes the Lakers the scariest team in the playoffs. Say less. Yes, sir. Hey, pun intended. Say less, brother. Listen, thanks for the donation, first and foremost. Secondly, you're absolutely right. People are looking at this as a glass half empty type thing, right? Like they're looking at the negative aspect. Yes, he had a horrible stint in Boston, but those fans are trash. We know that. He didn't want to stay there. I think the fans had a lot to do with it. All right. They're very disrespectful and very racist at times. Secondly, he had a poor stint in Brooklyn. But I told you guys, I really told you guys that that wouldn't work out. It's just too many egos and bad personalities. No real leadership. Kevin Durant's never really been a leader. He needed the leadership of a Steph Curry to win multiple championships. Kyrie admitted it wasn't really hard for him to be a leader. So he would need the leadership of a LeBron James, a true leader, right? Somebody he truly respects because they've been there in the trenches before. And obviously, he's also, people forget, but he was trying to join forces with Anthony Davis and recruit him to Boston. So he likes Anthony Davis as well. So this is why I've always felt this was a possibility, even before the rumors. So yeah, shout out, credit to me, man. I need my flowers. I've been calling this a real possibility over a year, and people thought I was crazy. So this is why y'all definitely got to hit that post notification bell and subscribe if you already have it. My boy said, Dan, we keep this pick or trade it off in a package tonight. I don't think we could trade it yet because Russell Westbrook hasn't opted in, so we don't have too many trade assets unless they include it in a package with Kendrick Nunn and THT to get a role player. But again, we need to hold on to our assets so we can figure out if we can execute a Kyrie Irving deal. Of course, Ronnie, my pleasure, brother, my pleasure. He said, hey, Dan, I see the Lakers getting Kyrie this weekend, early next week. It has to be before the opt-in expiration date. So, yes, if it goes down, it'll go down here relatively quickly. It could be tomorrow, the day after that, but we need Russell Westbrook to opt in. Better hurry your ass up, man, and opt in because we need that to happen for sure. He said, Juan Toscano to the Lakers? That would be dope. That would be dope. I like Juan Toscano. How would we fill out the rest of the roster if we get Kyrie? Listen, man, we got Clutch, we got LeBron, we got Kyrie, we got AD, we got an amazing coaching staff. I wouldn't be shocked if we can get guys like PJ Tucker and or Bobby Portis, who seem like out of reach as of right now, as you get somebody like that, because they'd be willing to take a 1-year deal and get paid on the back end. So keep an eye out for that, man. Only good things will happen if we get a mega team like that. You know, a lot of people aren't sold on it. They're like, I'm tired of super teams. I'm tired of having 3 stars that didn't work out last year. Learn your lesson. But I will say this has always been the Laker way. So I'm not even surprised that we're going for after another star player. I'm good either way, man. If we don't land a star player, I'm good with a bunch of role players. But the best blueprint to get those role players on a discount is to land another star. And then all of a sudden guys are looking this way and be like, okay, I want to go with Bron, with Kyrie and AD because we're about to get a championship. Dan, a lot of fans will be pissed if Kyrie doesn't come here. Listen, it's split right now because there's some fans that don't want him. For some reason, they don't want him, you know. Whatever their reasons may be, I respect it. You know, you're entitled to your own opinions, but we know what a danger it would be if we acquired him for the rest of the league. You know, they'd be shaking. Like Steph Curry would probably call KD and be like, bruh, come back over here. Draymond Green would get on the podcast and probably publicly recruit Kevin Durant again, man. So anything's possible. Dan, if Kyrie trade is an impossibility, will Westbrook return? I don't know. I mean, it seems like they've been trying to get rid of him one way or another. So to be determined, my friend. But I do like, you know, the beat of the drum the Lakers have been playing the instrument at. And they're definitely moving diligently and opening up all their options and you know, playing their cards, you know, to the best of their ability. So I hope we are able to execute some of these things we're rumored to be in And yep. He said, "You want all that just to lose to the Warriors?" Jason K sounds like an insecure fan, man. Last I checked, this is a Laker forum, brother. So you either got lost or you need to get escorted out. Matter of fact, I got you, man. Bouncer. He said Westbrook is out of here one way or another. Say less, brother. Say less. It might. I'm starting to see like, yeah. A couple of days ago, I said I felt like since he's been included in rumors, it's probably gonna happen, man. It's probably gonna happen. He's probably gonna get traded or something, right? But by the way, the Washington Wizards are rumored to be trying to trade away Kuz and KCP. Would you guys be welcome to either of them coming back? Yeah, these Warrior fans, man, that come onto my live stream, they used to be Laker fans, but they're bandwagons. They're just jumping around. Dan, if KD wants out, okay, this is what I want to know. All right, if Kevin Durant wants out, y'all trading Anthony Davis for Kevin Durant, and what else are you willing to include in the package? Because the Lakers tax, they're probably going to want a future first round pick and something else. We definitely have the assets to get a Kevin Durant. And yes, it would be scary to have two of the best players in the league on the same team and LeBron and KD. But I honestly, KD's getting older, right? A couple of years ago, he was injured. Knock on wood that it doesn't get, repeat, because I hate any superstar being injured or any player at all. But AD's still only 28 years old, and people forget that the bubble championship, that year, we ran it back like 2 months right after that. And that definitely contributed to him getting injured again and again. So as we get back to a regular schedule programming, I expect him to get healthier and healthier. And do you really want to lose that for 2 to 3 good years, 1 to 2 good years of KD potentially? I don't know. See, if I'm trading Anthony Davis because he requests a trade or no longer fits here, I want a young superstar in the making in return for that. Am I asking for too much? I don't think so, because that's what we gave up. And Brandon Ingram. Johnny Davis to the Wizards. Okay, that's a good pick. It's a nice little pick. He said, "Yo, Dan, do hate it when the haters say we have a bubble ring. I tell them their team won it. They would have trashed talk their own team." Yeah, it's all jealousy. It's all jealousy, brother Mark. It's all jealousy, man. We're not worried about the haters over here. Bubble championship was one of the hardest, one of the highest competitive championships out there, man. One of the highest competitively championships out there for sure. So, yeah, we're not gonna worry about the haters. We saw multiple players dropping 50-point games. We weren't even projected to win that championship, right? And then when we won it, Mickey Mouse ring, this and that. But they're over here drinking that haterade 24/7. Ain't nobody worried about them. Listen, at every turn I see hater Laker comments. Oh, y'all want Kyrie Irving? Y'all nuts. Y'all can't have him. Blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody trying to go to the Lakers. Y'all don't have no trade assets. All this negative talk. But as soon as it happens, they're going to be crying about it. I promise you. If you pair KD and LeBron 2 to 3 years, that's 2 to 3 chips. I'd trade AD. A lot of people think like that. And I'm not opposed to it, but it is a huge risk regardless, because if you don't get those 2 to 3 chips and you gave up a young superstar and AD reaches peak MVP form again, you're going to be, slapping yourself in the face for that trade years moving forward. I don't know. I still believe in Anthony Davis. I might be in the minority here, but I think he's about to have a big bounce back year, and I think Darvin Ham's about to utilize him. He said he was the key to the season, so let's see what happens there. Now, let's see what the Knicks do here, man. Knicks definitely the only other team I like in the NBA out of the Eastern Conference. I want to see what they do here, man. They're on the clock. Always curious about the Knicks. I heard they were trying to trade up for Jaden Ivey. I would have loved it if the Knicks would have got Jaden Ivey, but I think Detroit's holding on to that young man. This is what pisses me off, man. There's a lot of people on Twitter just saying random stuff for clout. All right, this guy, his name's Dre. He has a check mark, but obviously he has no sources. He said the Nets and the New York Knicks have agreed to trade Kyrie for Kemba Walker, Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, the 11th pick, and a protected 2023 pick. That's not true. And that tweet got retweeted over 1,450 times. Like, bruh, if it ain't Shams and Woj or Bill O'Ram or somebody that truly has credible sources, don't believe this stuff, guys. Matter of fact, if I was you, I'd block these clowns want attention. Give them the attention they ordered and block these clowns. My boy Angel said, can we make the Mamba jerseys our new Sunday night white jerseys? That would be cool. Bring them back. Yes, sir. Bring them back for sure. I would love it if we brought those back, man. I love the Mamba jerseys, man. Yeah, I'm with you, Dan. I believe AD, two real Lakers fans know what a short offseason caused AD to miss some time, and as well as sticking him back in the primary four will help. Absolutely. We need a real big man to come in here and do the dirty work. That way we can run the 4-out, 1-in offense. Legit, right? He said, do you think Sharif O'Neal will be drafted tonight? I'm rooting for the kid. If he gets drafted, that's that's great. Like, that would be awesome. But do I think he'll get drafted? Honestly, probably not. Right? It's not like he put up major numbers or blew anybody else. I didn't hear about anything about him in the draft combine or at the workout. So based on what I'm hearing, he's probably not even going to get drafted. But that could be a blessing in disguise for some team that picks him up. And who knows? Maybe this raw talent will start coming together at some point in his career, and he can make a career out of himself. Let's see. I'm rooting for him for sure. Let's see what the Knicks do. Now, again, my TV here is in the room. It's delayed. It's connected to my Xbox, the Spectrum Sportsnet app, so it's a little delayed. You guys already know the pick, but, I want to see what the Knicks do here. What are they going to do here, man? They got RJ Barrett, as the main building block. They got a couple nice pieces over there, but they still yet to land a big superstar. It's been a while. They took a gamble on Kemba Walker. It didn't pay off. Do you think KD would join our Lakers or get back with Draymond Green and Golden State? Anything's possible with KD. He's unpredictable. Here goes. Knicks. Is that big man who blocks shots? Yeah. This guy's solid, man. But I'm curious. I'm curious if they drafted that player for themselves or for somebody else, because they got a couple of bigs down there. They got Julius Randle, obviously. They're probably going to re-sign, what's his name? Their 7-footer who they drafted. I forgot his name. And Nerlens Noel, that probably means he's gone, right? They're booing him. That's messed up. They usually boo every pick they get, man. That's nothing new. But you know what? Let's see what he does. Now, I'm a little shocked with this pick because they need a guard bad, man, to go alongside RJ Barrett in the backcourt. They've been desperate need for a point guard for a while. So they get a big man, and let's see what he pans out to be. So that's Knicks fans for you. Oh yeah, they boo everybody, man. Everybody. There you go. Trade. So OKC.
Multiple first-round picks moving forward, and Oklahoma City is back on the clock at number 12.
Wait, so the Knicks just traded away their pick?
We can talk about some length now. Now you pair with Jang with Chet Holmgren, a 7'1" wingspan guard, plays like a guard.
Oh snap! Okay, so they gave them a future first-round pick. That's crazy. Okay, so the Knicks got a future first-round pick. From when, though? They didn't say what year. Or is it here? Is it multiple picks in this draft? I don't know. But I guess the Knicks weren't sold on nobody that was available on the – unless the Knicks are trying to gather some assets to try to trade up and get their guy, Jaden Ivey. But I don't know. This is a little puzzling for me because I thought he was going to be a Knick for sure. Oh, so they got – or did they get Ousmane Dieng? Oh, okay. I was confused there for a second. They got this guy, Ousmane Dieng. That's interesting. Interesting move by the Knicks. No. I'm so dumb. Okay. Yeah. No, I was right. So they got future first round picks. Wow. I wonder how Knicks fans feel about this. If there's any Knicks fans in the chat, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. That's interesting, man. Are they trying to trade up? Like, what is the purpose of this? Are they trying to grab Kyrie or something? Like, what's going on, Knicks? For multiple first round picks, but there's no. I want to know the details. Like, what are these multiple first round picks that the Knicks just acquired from OKC? Because I know OKC got multiple first round picks, but what year? What spot? Interesting. Y'all think the Knicks are going for Kyrie? That's an interesting take for sure. They're trying to make room for Kyrie. Oof, man, we're gonna have competition for Kyrie, aren't we? Jeez. Let's see what happens here, man. This draft is getting interesting. And the Thunder still have the 12th pick. And it isn't a part of the Knicks trade. Wow, the Thunder really just love, stocking up on young talent. Interesting. Who do I want us to take at the 35th pick, man? I any of the players that I mentioned in yesterday's video, especially the top two, would be great. But I want a 3-and-D wing primarily. If we get a big man, that'd be cool too. But a nice 3-and-D wing, guys. There's a couple. Jabari Walker, Keon Ellis. Somebody along those lines would be dope. Keon Ellis, since we got the 35th pick, it seems more realistic. But I had Jabari Walker as my number one, hopeful that he slipped. I thought we were gonna get like a 40 pick in the mids. So. He said, Woj reported Kyrie called LeBron James. Yeah, it's getting juicy, man. I think we need a center. We could use a center, Maurice, for sure. But if there's not any great ones available, some might slip out of the draft that we can look at for sure. And so we should prioritize 3-and-D wings because we definitely needed that. We needed some 3-and-D wings just in case free agency doesn't go our way. Some youth, maybe some guys that could, bounce out the gym. Somebody who can just lock up, Robert Covington type wings would be dope, man. Watson has good upside. There's a couple players. There's a couple players here that let's see who slips down in the draft. It could be somebody, that we don't know that comes out of left field. It could be somebody we're not even talking about. So let's see. Yeah, but so far, who's winning the draft so far, guys? It's hard to say. The Thunder, obviously, with Chet, this trade they just acquired, and let's see who they get with the 12th overall pick. I mean, stuff's getting interesting, man. They're putting together some nice little young players with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They still have Lou Dort, Darius Baisley. I mean, they got some young talent there. Hey, Dan, if we keep Russ and Malik Monk would accept the taxpayer mid-level exception, would you give him that, considering that if you give him that, the team would look really similar to last season? I want to keep Malik Monk at almost any cost, but if there's a better player to be had with more experience, then that's something we got to consider for sure. But yeah, I would love to keep Malik Monk. I think he's still young, still has a ton of potential, and he's a combo guard, which is something we've been looking at for a while. What's up, Michael? Do I like Max Christie? I don't know enough about him, man. I didn't scout him enough to give you a true opinion on that player. Giddey as well. Yeah, I forgot about Josh Giddey. Yeah, yo. The Thunder are really either they're putting together a lot of young talent to put together a package for a star player, or they're just going to develop really nicely over the next couple of years. I forgot about Josh Giddey, and he was solid last year too. He said, Dan, I don't see Kyrie going to the Knicks. Nets giving up the Knicks would be like the Clippers giving us Kawhi. That's a good point. Let's see. Thunder. Jalen Williams. That's a great pick right there. I like him. Explosive young man. Yes, sir. But they got a couple of guards over there for sure. Wait, does this mean that they might trade their 3-and-D guy? What's his name? Lou Dort. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Is he a free agent unrestricted or is he restricted? They might be looking to move him. They got plenty of guards, man. Plenty of guards. They say Kyrie's looking for a new house. LA would really suit Kyrie. I'm telling you that. He would make back a lot of the money he lost. Just the commercials and stuff he's going to get out here, man. All the press and all that. It'd be solid. Yeah, that's interesting, though, that the OKC Thunder picked 11 and 12. They must have really liked this young man right here. 7'2" wingspan is really impressive. Really impressive. How would you feel about Kyrie if he goes to the Clippers? I would start to hate him, honestly. If he picks the Clippers over the Lakers, I would seriously, like, I don't even know if I could wear any more of my Kyrie shoes and gear and all that till he's off the Clippers, to be honest with you. I got plenty of Kyrie Irving gear. I'm a big fan of his shoes and stuff, so it'll be a bummer if that happens. I really hope it does not. I really hope it does not, man. But it is a scary thought. OKC is loaded with young talent. They're definitely going to be a fun team to pick in NBA 2K23. That's going to be a fun team to select. Bunch of young talent, man. I like it. AJ Griffin's still on, still on the board. Mark Williams. Them Duke products ain't no joke. Ty Washington Jr. Still some talent. Let's see what Charlotte goes with to pair up over there with LaMelo Ball. Now, I heard Charlotte was looking to trade one of their 2 picks along with Gordon Hayward. Could that be something that potentially happens here during the draft? We still haven't seen a draft day trade. So I'm waiting for it right now. Well, besides the New York Knicks one. Interesting. All right, this is what I'm going to do, guys. This is what I'm going to do, all right? I need to take a quick break. We've been on for 47 minutes. So shout out to y'all for sticking with me. I couldn't wait, man. But I am going to come on here for part 2 of this draft video in about 20 to 30 minutes. Depends how long it takes, right? Maybe an hour. Once we get closer to our pick, I'm going to come on live, or if something breaks, definitely going to come on live. I can't wait to break it down with y'all, man. See who we pick up and all that on the live stream. And, of course, after everything clears up and we find out what free agents we potentially sign, I will be on live as well. So plenty of content coming. Make sure y'all have that post notification bell turned on. If you already haven't subscribed, do that. And I will see you guys here shortly, all right? About an hour max. But we got plenty of draft picks here in between this and the second round. So I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll see you guys in a bit, all right? Stay tuned.